if you want an extra storage, you should go with the EBS in EC2 instance, and it's specific to one AZ. And in if you're going to add one EBS volume, you have to create a file structure on top of it. Why we should use EBS? It's reliable, secure, flexible, and easy data backup. We can take it. Performance is also very good, and it is cost effective. If you are going to use a multiple volume types, it's going to be a less cost for using those volume types. Now, to continue the same, let's go ahead and do a couple of more labs. And today the session is going to be very interesting. I would request every one of you to pay attention to today's session, and it's going to be I'm going to cover a couple of automations, and also I'm going to cover a lot of other lab activities as well. And then the very first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one EC2 instance, and while creating, I am giving all the scripts and everything which we generally do after creating the EC2 instance. Now very first thing which you everyone knows that we are going to choose the Amazon machine AMI, and this is the AMI which generally we select every time. And general purpose SSD, it's going to be free, free tier eligible. And right, so from here we have to configure instance detail. Now instance number of instances is going to be 1. We are not going to touch network, subnet, and auto and public IP. All these things, let it be. There you have a user data which I have written. If you want to enable with, if you want to write up a huge script or a long script where you can do multiple things, that also you can do it. But my intention is to show you that automation before initializing the EC2 instance. You can also do these things, so that you can save as a template, and every time you need not to go and update your RPMs and install the HTTPD and go to this location and write up one index.html file and start the services. All things you can do it in a script as well. Now then, go and add the storage. Now here you can see that I have only root volume, and that device is dev/xvda, which is of size of 8, and volume type is general purpose SSD. Now let's say if I need a one more mount point or EBS volume, either I can add it from here. I can say that I need 30 GB or 100 GB or 3 GB more in a different mount point, and every time you just select delete on termination. Otherwise, once your EC2 instance is terminated and you still have this EBS volume there on your free tier, you may be charged for that. So always select delete upon termination. So there is a one way where you can add one EBS volume, or there is a different way where once the EC2 instances is created, you can do it with the manual way. So I'm going to show you the manual way how to create one extra EBS volume and attach to the existing EC2 instance, which I'm just going to create it. Just copy the public IP, and I'll browse it in Google Chrome and see whether my static page is coming or not, right? So this is my first web page from AWS Cloud, right? So you know that I have created one EC2 instance right now, and only 8 GB is attached here, right? This is the only 8 GB attached. But what if some requirement come and there is one EBS volume of 100 GB need to be attached? Because you will not be going to develop anything, any database or application on the root device, right? It's not driver, it's root device. So you are not going to do it with on the root drive. So what you are going to do is you have to create one you have to create one EBS machine, EBS volume. So I am going to do this EC2 server 1 is already created, right? If let's say if the name of this EC2 instance is EC2, and then underscore server 1. So this is going to be the name of your EC2 machine. And I know that I have a root volume of 8 GB, but let's go ahead and create one root volume of 2 GB and attach this 2 GB to our EC2 server 1. So for that, we have to choose the elastic block store volume, right? So first we have to open this volume first, right? You know that this EC2 server 1 8 GB is already created, right? So this is the for this instance there is 8 GB, so that will show you here, but this is of no use. This is of no use for us as of now, because we are going to create one more volume. So for that, you click on create volume. Now here the create volume page will come, and the very first thing it will tell you which volume type you need. As you know that we have 5 different options to create a volume type: general purpose SSD, provision, which is high IOPS. I will go ahead with the magnetic one, and the size I have to choose. Let's say I'm going to select the 3 GB. I want a 3 GB volume, but practically if you're working in a project, they need a 3 terabytes of data and maybe more. Now let me ask you this question: what availability zone I should select? 2A, 2B, 2C. Right. So that's going to be AZ specific, right? Volume is an AZ specific. So if I'm going to create this is in 2B, I won't be attached this volume to any EC2 instance, this EC2 instance, because this EC2 instance is created in US East 2A. And if you are going to attach the volume, you have to create in the same AZ, right? Because the volume is a AZ specific. The key you can give what? Volume 1 for EC2 underscore server. So you have to put the key value in such a way that it's not going to be confusing for you at all, because there would be a lot of EC2 machine, there would be a lot of volumes, right? So for that you have to be a little, and then US underscore East underscore 2A. So let's add this one also, and volume 1. All right, and then let's click on create volume. So volume is created, 3 GB volume is created, and if you just do a refresh, it should come here. You know that 8 GB volume, root volume is already here, and I have created a default. I have created a new volume, which is with the name of volume 1 EC2 server US 2A, and it's going to be 3 GB and created on so on and so date, and AZ is also same. You could see that the state, it says 8 GB of root is already in use, but it is available and that's not still used so far. It's created somewhere here, and it's 3 GB magnetic, right? 3 GB magnetic is created, but it is still not attached, or it is still not added to, where it is not added to the EC2 machine. So for that, what you have to do is you have to attach this to EC2 machine. All right, so let's go ahead and attach it. So how to do that? You just click here and click on action and attach volume. Now it will ask you which instance you want to attach it, and that also it is saying in US East 2A, right? It will only open for only US East 2A, and once you click here, it will say that these are the running EC2 underscore server 1, and you can choose that. And when you see that /dev/sdf, that's going to be the device type. And but if you see the note, newer Linux kernel may rename your device, this is going to be the device name. But when you see that, when you just do a df minus hp or lsblk, you won't be able to see /dev/sdf, because in the newer Linux kernel, it will change it with what name? /dev/xvdf. So I'll show you that. I'm going to attach this with what? With my EC2 machine, right? So I should be able to see this EC2 machine. If I log in here, command to see whether lsblk is a command. So list block all the block devices, it will show you here. You could see that xvda is a partition which is of 8 GB, and it is mounted to slash, right? If you do cd slash, you will come to the root partition, and if you do ls, you will see all the root partition. This is your root volume. You remember this is the 8 GB, right? So this is internally 8 GB, but still I'm unable to see the 3 GB. You are able to see that it's 3 GB is here, but where I'll go, it's a blank, right? Because there is no file system attached to this name, this xvdf. you see that you have root and one, but it is not mounted. But if you want to see what all files are there, you can actually see from file -s and /dev/ and xvda. Now xvda and xvda1 both are the part of the root device. It is just showing you the disk and the partition. So if you just see how many files are there and whether this file system are created or not, it will show you yes, this file system is a boot sector, and it is having some partition table, right? It will show you the extended partition table. So that's only it is going to show you. It is not going to show you what all files it is there. And if you just run the same command and just change xvdf, it will show you only data. That means this has only data. So that means this is empty. It is still not used. So the very next command is you have to do a create a new file system on the new partition volume only when it is empty. So as of now, you know that it is empty. I'm going to create mkfs make file system, right? So that's a command, and then -t ext4, right? So this file system I'm going to create it on what volume I'm going to create on /dev/xvdf. So I'm going to create one file system on this dev xvdf. We know that /dev is the name which you remember while creating the EBS volume. It has come, but here it will show you only xvdf lsblk command. But when you are going to create it, you have to give the entire full name, which is /dev/xvdf. Now that will create the file system. Now again, if you do lsblk, it will still not show you anything, because the file system is created, but you have not created any file. You have not created any directory and mounted on this xvdf. So for that, what you have to do is, let's create one directory and then we'll mount it to here mkdir. I'm going to create one directory, and that directory is going to be mkdir/app. And now this /app, I am going to mount it on xvdf, right? So for that, the command is mount and then /dev/xvdf. So I'm going to mount x/dev/xvdf on where /app. All right. So that's going to be the command, and where once you do that, it's going to mount /app on /dev xvdf. So that's mounted lsblk. If you do that, and you are going to see xvdf is mounted to /app, and you could use this 3 GB. So if you go to /app, now you can go to /app and you can see that it is created. And if you do df-hp or df-hp /app, it will show you it's 2 GB, 2.8 GB.